remind me, have you ever seen The Goonies?
I have. It's been maybe 10 years.
Okay.
Or more. 10?
Gotcha.
No, 10 years. That sounds about right.
10 years? Okay.
Yeah.
Dustin, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
I
Surprise me.
saw The Goonies this weekend.
Oh my gosh. What did you think?
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Hey, Mike found a map! One-Eyed Willie! My dad told me all about him. See, One-Eyed Willie stole treasure once, and then he got into this cave, and he's been there ever since. Trapped. You guys, just what if this map could lead to One-Eyed Willie's rich stuff? I'm setting booty traps. You mean booby traps? That's what I said, booby traps. I want to go home. Don't say that. Goonies never say die. Oh my God.
From Steven Spielberg. The Goonies.
Do the truffle shuffle. Come on, do it.
So, as famously chronicled throughout this show, I have said I'm not going to watch The Goonies. People need to stop bothering me about it. But Paula insisted and said, hey, we should have a movie night with all the kids. And I was like, oh, cool. That'd be fun. What are you thinking? And she was like, The Goonies. I was like, okay. And so I was like, fine, because this is how I compromise. And this is the setting in which I had always sort of contended that it should be watched. So
Sure.
I was like, okay. And so we got, it was at my house, got all the kids together, and we watched The Goonies. And they all made it through it.
Great.
Yeah, so The Goonies. Big names attached to this. I didn't realize all the talent behind the camera here.
Yeah.
So you probably knew this. This movie's directed by Richard Donner.
Yes, it is.
And I was like, oh my God. Screenplay by Chris Columbus.
Yep.
And then, of course, story by Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
And of course, produced by Spielberg and Frank Marshall. And so, yeah, it's an Amblin film.
That's right.
Right. So, which, you know, I probably could have guessed just based on like what it is and the kind of movie it is and blah, blah, blah. So we watched The Goonies. And The Goonies, this episode is going to get so many views because this is me eating crow. I really liked it. Cool. I expected I would be bored by it because of how prevalent it is in culture versus Willow, right? Like I heard much more about The Goonies throughout my life than I've heard about Willow. Yeah. I only heard about Willow like as an adult,
sure.
To be honest. Once I started studying film more and then hearing about things, but I'd heard The Goonies since I was like in high school. And so I know what the truffle shuffle was and all that stuff. And then just, you know, over the years, like I knew that Sean Astin, Josh Brolin's in this movie, Jeff Cohen, Corey Feldman, Cary Green, Ke Kwan, and Martha Plimpton. And so I knew that it was, I mean, this movie is in the Library of Congress and everything. And so it's a movie about a bunch of kids who essentially go hunting for treasure. And that's the plot. So the first thing I noticed was like my first big I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like in the first couple of scenes, it's got that Richard Donner. And I had to explain to Paula what I meant by that Richard Donner thing. Because he doesn't do this in Superman that much. But this is all over Lethal Weapon. And it is, the characters are just constantly talking over each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people. It's not shot, reverse shot, my line, your line, you know, all the time. It's a lot of like just clamoring voices.
Yep.
And some people may be like, that's chaotic. For me, I'm like, I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it because that's momentum. It's attention. It feels real, especially for a cast full of kids, you know, like that's a lot of work to get those kids to bond and to have that kind of rapport. You know, it's one thing for Danny Glover and Mel Gibson and then all of the day players to have that. But it's something else to get, you know, a bunch of kids to do it. That's when I thought like, oh, this is a Richard Donner movie. Cause this is a thing. And of course, he did that here before he did it in Lethal Weapon. I don't think he thinks about that as much as I do. I like to imagine he was like, I like this multi-talk thing. I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
But with grown-ups. I was really annoyed by Corey Feldman for half the movie because his character is like that tired archetype of like the smarmy, wisecracking one who hits on all the adults and, who says things. And it's like, okay, all right. But like that character gets real quiet at like the midpoint, doesn't talk as much. And, and I was like, cool.
Yeah, right.
He quiets down. I kind of like that Ke Huy Quan's character is just Data. He's just doing his own thing throughout the whole movie. Like they're on this whole quest, but his whole thing is I've got inventions and I've got plot convenient inventions, but there's always the constant surprise of like, what else has he got in that trench coat?
Yeah.
So, kids are all up in my house. And so like, there was a few times where I was like, okay, I'm lost on why they call themselves the Goonies. I missed that reference. I had to have it explained a few times, like what's even going on? Like, why are they trying to save their town? What's the threat? And it's basically like developers. In the Goondocks, that's what it is. It's the neighborhood of Oregon. They're all getting their homes foreclosed on by these developers, and try not to think too hard about whether or not that's even possible from a private developer. I understand if like the government's doing eminent domain and stuff, but like, how you just have to sell them your house? Like, can't you hold out and get a good price?
Correct.
I noticed that Sean Astin's mom was that same woman who plays the police psychiatrist in the Lethal Weapon movies. And I thought that was fun. It is a family film, but it's from the 80s. And like throughout those first couple of scenes, I kept looking at Paula because there's like they break that little statue of David or whatever, and his penis breaks off, and one of the kids goes like, "That's my mom's favorite part." And I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah.
And then they try to glue it on. They glue it upside down, so it looks like it's erect, and his balls are on top of his.
Yes.
But that's all funny. But like, what I love about it, and what's kind of the silver bullet of all good family films, is the stakes actually feel real. It's like, this is a big deal. What they're fighting for is kind of a big deal. It would be destabilizing for kids to be forced out of their homes and essentially have their community destroyed. That's a big deal for adults, but for kids, it's even more so. I liked that they were in very real danger from these very awful criminals who are cool with imprisoning them and leaving them for dead. And as they go deeper and deeper into these caves, just like, that's the criminals get more and more determined. I just enjoyed it. As someone who saw this movie in my late, I guess, is that where we are? 30s.
Yep.
I still feel like I got something out of it that, not that I hadn't seen before, but I got something that felt more timeless than I anticipated. Sure. There was a little bit of me during it where I was like, okay, there's a reason that people love this. I can split hairs and be kind of an asshole and say like, I think what I like about this isn't what most people like about this. I like the crowded dialogue, the high stakes. I'm not here as much for like the coming of age stuff or whatever, because that's obviously tired. But I still contend that most people's love for this film is nostalgic, but I can't really lean on that assumption anymore, because for me, it will never be nostalgic. But for me, it's more like I came away with it thinking, I could sit through that movie again. I don't know under what circumstances I would. My kids have all seen it. That's it. It's over.
Yep. You don't think they'll have a Goonies phase where they just watch the Goonies on repeat?
No. Because they enjoyed it, and it doesn't feel like Stranger Things in that sense. Yeah. E.T. is a lot more of a Stranger Things-esque plot than this is, right? Yeah. It's borrowing Stranger Things borrows a whole lot from E.T. with the government looking for Elle, their special friend from the woods. And this one is kind of the least like Stranger Things in that way. Like, the police aren't really involved. Every time they try to call the cops don't believe them, because that character Chunk always is pulling pranks on them, so they don't trust him. I really like that there are no noticeable visual effects in this movie. Everything that I saw was some kind of, at first I thought it was like a matte painting, but then there were clouds that were moving. I was like, oh, maybe this is rear projection or like floor projection. But there's really good I'll call them special effects. They're not visual effects. They're all special effects on set or very well done in post. Where it didn't feel. Now this is a Blu-ray. Maybe it was remastered. It looks better now than it did then. But like, I was impressed, and what I liked is like, this is just a lot of sets.
Yeah,
this is set work and set extensions that are not noticeable. I came away really appreciating it. I'm here to eat my words. I enjoyed the Goonies. I liked it more than I thought I would. And I liked it a lot more than Willow. Because Willow felt like something I'd seen before on a lower budget, and this felt like something I've sort of seen, but executed still well and in a way that held up mostly. Yeah. Aside from like silly character tropes, like, Corey Feldman's the sore thumb in this movie, but like the character Chunk, I thought he was going to be super fucking annoying.
Yeah.
He was the best character, and not just because he's the little fat kid who does he does the truffle once. That's it. It's not like it comes back. It's not a thing. It's not relied upon. His weight is not really ever a joke in the movie. Aside from that, he's the most interesting of the friends. That's why. And he is split off from them early in the film and is on his little side adventure while they're deeper in the caves and having all this romantic intrigue, and like they're finding the map and the treasure and stuff, and he's stuck with the criminals or what's his name, the deformed Sloth. Sloth and Chunk was amazing. I was heavily invested in their little team up. And Chunk was funny. He said actual jokes. It wasn't silly little dum-dum stuff. Like they wrote lines for him that were funny. And his performance, this actor's name, where is he? Jeff Cohen. Mm-hmm. Jeff Cohen, it was funny.
Yeah.
He was good. It gave a good performance, a better one than Sean Astin, which Sean Astin's a great actor, but he was kind of whatever in this. Nothing that special. Jeff Cohen was great, and he wasn't early act one Corey Feldman. He actually was delivering more of a performance. Corey Feldman was just being kind of smarmy, and just kind of being like, "Hey, it's Corey Feldman, everybody." And as a 37-year-old man in 2026, I'm like, "Cool, that doesn't impress me at all."
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me more with this Chunk kid. Like he's putting in some work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I came to say I was wrong.
Well, I'm glad. Like for me, again, I haven't seen it in 10 years, but yeah, I mean, what sticks out are the good things. I don't really remember a lot of like, well, here's what I definitely didn't like.
Right.
But I just feel like overall, maybe I didn't connect with it as strongly as I might have had I seen it younger. But
I watched this in a room full of kids.
Sure. And I would not, I know I watched this in a room full of adults that, a screening filled with adults, and that's, they were all quoting it and nostalgic for it. And I'm like, well, who used this? And so that may have hurt my experience with it as well. But I do think that it was it's certainly like, you're not arguing whether it's a competently made film. It's just an argument for me of how strongly do I personally connect with it? And the answer is not as much.
Yeah. If they were to do like a double feature of this, like, I don't know, if they've somehow uncovered like a super clean print of it, and I did like a double feature with this and like E.T. or something, I'd go see them both. You know what I mean? Like, totally. E.T.'s a better film, but like,
yeah, totally.
This kind of does deserve its place where it is. So
yeah, sweet man. I'm glad you liked it.
Let me ask you about this thing I read. There's a Substack called OK Zoomer. Okay. And the writer Kelsey Weekman, this particular article was called "The People Who Love Having TV and Movies Ruined for Them." Mostly younger people.
Sure.
But basically the idea that like some people, there's too much to watch. they want to keep up with culture.
Yep.
And so they'll just read spoilers.
Yeah.
Like they'll go on Wikipedia and just read the story.
Read what happened. Yep.
And especially like people who don't want to watch horror films, but they can read a horror plot.
Yeah.
And so like people who are like, I'm too scared to watch Obsession, but I want to know how it ends because I want to be able to talk to my friends about it.
Yeah.
And how that's become a thing. And especially now with like social media, it's like they're shoving stuff at you all the time. So I think part of it is like, I want to be able to understand the references that I'm seeing on TikTok.
Yep.
Without doing the work of watching the thing.
Yeah.
And they say it's a cure to FOMO. Some people like to do it before they watch a thing. They want to know how it ends so they know whether or not they're going to like the ending.
Whether it's worth their time. Yeah.
And I'm struggling with that because I have always said that if something is good, you should be able to enjoy it on a second watch, knowing the ending.
Yeah.
So on those grounds, I don't fault them because I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you're spoiled, like if you know how the movie 7 ends,
yeah,
you should still be able to watch it all the way through and enjoy it, or it's nothing but novelty.
That's right.
But then another part of me is like, come on though, like
yeah,
just watch stuff. Just watch stuff and be okay losing out on some stuff.
This is the equivalent of like, and I'm not calling these types of people a child, but think about like when a child is being read a bedtime story and things get really intense, and then they're like, hold on, Dad, do they make it in the end?
Yeah.
And like, don't go any further. I just need to know, are they going to be okay? And like, yeah, they'll be fine. Okay. All right. Keep going. And then you're right back in the action. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's the equivalent of like, I just need to know. And, but this is also like, my mind goes to, it would have been really nice to have known like, oh, you're not going to like Lost by the end.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Then I won't sit through it for 6 years.
6 years.
And make theories and try to figure it out because it's not going to amount to anything.
Yeah.
It would have been really nice to know that. So there's as media increasingly becomes disappointing.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense to me to go, am I going to like it though? So that makes sense. I do think it ruins the magic. Like it would for me. Maybe it doesn't for these types of people. I don't know.
It's very clinical, you know?
It's too clinical. It's like, I just tell me the diagnosis and then I'll decide if I want to watch it. Now, for the people who have FOMO or whatever else, I think this is a really good thing. So I don't know that I think we've like skirted around this subject before. Maybe we've talked a little bit about it, but, there's this idea, I forget where I read this, but it was like talking about there's, I can't remember which one it was, but there is a generation, maybe it's Gen, what came after millennials? What was the very next one? Was that Z? So maybe it was Gen Z. So maybe it's that old of a story, but it was something about like Gen Zers were, at least at one point, like less inclined to watch a show that included, graphic sexual content.
Right. Yeah.
And that the idea was, they've become more, like sensitive to, on-set misbehavior and like manipulation and all of these like not great practices that they were less, at least at some point, were less inclined to watch a show that included it. So the idea that they, and I think also part of it was like that it was triggering to not know when like nudity specifically was going to happen, that it was the equivalent of like being flashed. Like you don't know when this is going to occur. And so when nudity happens on screen unexpectedly, it was triggering to some folks who had past history with like, you know, SA, like sexual abuse or whatever. Like, so the idea of somebody being able to participate in something and being able to look at it and go, does this story contain anything that might trigger me before they go to it, is actually really helpful, I think, in the grand scheme of things. It's why I've also talked like positively. I don't remember what the current service is, like VidAngel or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like things in the past that filter out specific types of content that you might find triggering or whatever that might be. Like there is an element of like people who are like, "Ooh, you're filtering out, you're messing with the filmmaker's intention," and I do agree. You are doing that. But if it helps somebody enjoy it without feeling negatively triggered by that product, then sure, why not? Like, why wouldn't we allow that? It's, if somebody has a gluten allergy and they go to a restaurant and say, I have a gluten allergy, you're messing with the chef's thing. You have to have the gluten. That's stupid. You should be able to say, I want to control what I consume. And so so my mind goes there and goes, if you knew what was in the film before you digested it, then sure. Like, why is that shouldn't be a bad thing. So I don't know. I'm of two minds about it because yes, you are altering the filmmaker's vision. You aren't viewing it the way it's intended to be viewed. You are privy to the twists and turns before they're revealed to you. Yeah, totally. You're messing with the filmmaker's vision. But is it also your prerogative to be able to do that and say, I don't want to digest the thing that you're giving me? Yes. So I agree with both sides of it.
Yeah, like one person in here did liken it to it's like looking at the menu before you go to a restaurant, which is like,
sure.
I get it, not a direct comparison because you can see that there's lobster, but if you've never had lobster, you don't know if you like lobster or not.
It would be like tasting the menu before you go to the restaurant.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did talk about VidAngel on this show recently and the same to your point, like the argument for it was let these people participate in culture. Totally. If they don't like nudity, but they want to watch the Eyes Wide Shut or something,
sure,
then fine. Like that's up to them. If your only argument is, but you're missing the nudity,
right?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I know.
Right. I think it becomes a gray area too if the film is like if that's central to the point of the film.
Sure.
Having a hard time thinking of one, but but you know what I mean? Like if it's central to the point of the film that there is nudity, then, the most you could say is like, well, you're going to miss some important things.
Sure.
And then it would be on them to go, okay, yeah, fine. I'll Wikipedia the scenes I miss. It's fine.
Yeah. But then there was that same thing in Gen Z, depending on the reason for it, like some people, my thing, the part that I didn't agree with, I get if you're sensitive to on-set behavior, or if you're watching a movie, if you're watching a movie where there's nudity and it wasn't made in the past 10 years, then you're, if all you can think about is there probably wasn't an intimacy coordinator on set.
Yeah.
And it bothers you, or you feel like there's too much male gaze, totally.
Sure. Exploitative. Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
So I would ask those people, can you watch shows that are made now with nudity, knowing that there probably wasn't mistreatment? That would be my follow-up to this focus group. Sure. But there was Gen Z people who were and I just thought this was especially the men saying this, they were just sex scenes aren't important to the plot. They don't drive the plot forward.
I remember reading something about that too.
And it's one, sometimes they literally do. Two, movies aren't just plot, buddy. It's character.
Sure.
And by the way, a sex scene is plot. That's the thing that happens in the movie between characters. It's a plot point, and it matters because that encounter colors their interactions from here forward.
The idea is that every scene in a film, if you remove a scene, you remove a part of the story being told, a significant part of it.
Right.
No scene should be wasted.
So perhaps you are seeing gratuitousness.
Sure.
So we can all agree, gratuitous isn't really additive artistically.
Sure.
But just to say that all nudity, all love scenes are unnecessary to the plot. It's well, that's just stupid. You're wrong.
Well, sure, but I agree. But I think you also have to take into account the folks who are sensitive to that have the right to say.
But that's the thing. Yeah. If that's you, then then you're then that's not your only reason. You know, if your primary reason is like, oh yeah, I don't like if you're watching for me, I'm not comfortable with it. And we walk in and there's Jason Segel and you're like, hey, whoa, I didn't ask for this. Right. And it's like, I get it. That might be triggering to someone. But if you're like, why is this important to the plot? I would also then say it's not. It's just a joke that pays off later. It's just funny. Not.
Yeah. And I guess you could argue vaguely that that's character building, that this is the manner in which they break up.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But it is ultimately a joke or whatever. I see it as a value that a person could say, again, I don't want to consume that. I don't want it snuck in there like without my knowledge. And again, if the alternative is like something pops up on the screen that goes nudity in 5, 4, 3, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I don't mean to make light of somebody being flashed. I'm just saying like, yes, I see all sides of the thing. And to the original prompt here, that the idea of somebody wanting something to be spoiled for them could in fact be self-preservation in some way. And that's totally their prerogative.
But to that point, like Wikipedia is not going to tell you that information.
Correct.
So it's like you could read it and go like, oh, seems safe. And then you could go and be like, whoa.
Yeah, right. It's not going to say, and then Jason Segel is naked.
Well, but read the MPAA rating. Like, what's it rated R for? Is there nudity? Yeah. Okay. Like,
right. So maybe I'll steer clear or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So there is like an element like, I don't ride roller coasters because I have a heart condition. I don't ride roller coasters because I don't like heights. Like, okay.
Yeah.
No one's mad at you for not riding a roller coaster.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I don't have
and you
those
have to understand the trade-off though.
Yeah.
That you can argue is you have to understand that if that's you and you say, I don't want to ride roller coasters because I'm afraid of heights or because of whatever, there is a part of culture that you will miss out on or that you won't be able to participate in.
Fully. Yeah.
You know, like this is a terrible example, but I don't drink. So there's a part of the culture that I miss out on by making the choice to not. Yeah. But that's you're
not missing much.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing much. Yeah. But it is a thing that like everyone has the thing where they're like, or most people have a thing where they're like, yeah, I just don't know much about that part of culture because I don't have interest in it or I don't want to or whatever. And that's totally fine. That's everybody's prerogative. And if on the like as an alternative, you could say, well, I'll just read about it. Okay. Now you can be in the conversation a little bit.
To make the comparison between like alcohol and like media to where they're not the same. I think it's hard with media because you could partake in alcohol and you can say, I like having a drink. I have no desire to try every drink there is.
Yeah, totally.
I'm okay. Like maybe a few, but like I'm not in a rush and like I don't have a list I'm checking off.
Yeah.
And they're not inventing, 600 new drinks a year.
Exactly.
That you have to always like vet and have an opinion on. Yeah. And with media, it's just a fire hose and there's all this new stuff all the time. And you can't
drink
possibly
takes 15 hours to drink with ads.
Yeah. It's too many names. Yeah. Like it is just too much. So it's like, it's a widely accessible thing and you're likely to meet people who they're in an entirely different niche than you are. And so like today when it's like, hey, our Avatar: The Last Airbender or this Vox Machina thing that apparently is also really good on Amazon Prime, you're just like, oh God, like, now there's a whole sector of things and I have to wait on something else and have all these other things going on. So like, I wonder if some of this is like falling victim to like optimization culture. Like,
oh, totally. I bet
like
it is.
I can just read summaries of stuff like,
watch it on 2x speed. Yeah.
All those quick, 2x speed and all those services. They're like, hey, you want a summary of a classic novel? And it's like, Jesus, like, like,
how do you optimize
it? What's the goal? Is the goal just to know, to be such a generalist that you haven't experienced anything?
Yeah.
Like you're not even going to read the Odyssey. You're just going to, like at least watch the film.
That's right.
Like, but don't just read a Cliff Notes and then do none of the other things. Like experience it as a piece of art in some form.
It's an interesting question. I'm not one of these people who, like, if I have an interest in seeing something, I'm not going to go read the Wikipedia and spoil myself on it because I want the surprise. I'm already interested. It's one of the reasons why, like, when I'm really interested, I'm not going to watch a trailer.
Yeah.
Because like, I just don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
Because I want to experience it all. I don't want to be thinking like, well, there was the shot in the trailer with the helicopter and I haven't seen that yet. Yeah. And it's like, cool, great, good for you if you can do that. But like, I'm not one of those people because all I'm going to be doing is thinking about the helicopter the whole movie.
With the Marvel movies and with most movies, I just have the one trailer rule. I have the teaser or the first full trailer, and that's all I do. Because that's all I need.
That's it.
Yeah.
I already know I'm going to see the movie, so why? Like, give me enough to wet my whistle and go like, ooh, cool, that looks great. But I already know I'm going to see it. So what's the point?
The task is complete. I'm in. I'll be there.
You've successfully marketed this film to me.
Yeah, you're good.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
You can rest now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but like
you can stop marketing me this.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, can I unsubscribe from getting more trailers?
What if you could do that? What if you could be like, I will see this film. Okay, great. We won't ask you again.
Yeah. Exactly. That'd be nice.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Especially if you've already bought your ticket. Just provide proof of purchase. And we won't market to you ever again.
Yeah.
The algorithm will
just buy the ticket, stupid.
That's right. I do already have my tickets for Branding Day. But
that's a Black Mirror episode if there ever was one.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Provide proof of purchase to opt out of advertising.
It'll be called, proof of purchase. And somehow you can do that. And,
buy these bananas. I already have bananas. Okay.
I like bananas already. Okay.
All right, great.
Yeah. It's like those, like, do you like it? Are these ads helpful? You know, and just go, no.
No,
why?
I already own the product.
I've already, yeah. I already used the product.
Drink Coca-Cola. I do. Okay, great.
Yeah. I'm doing it right now. Okay.
And then all your ads are Pepsi from then on out.
I was going to say, like, all they would do is just advertise the competitor to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how's that Coke? You ever tried Pepsi?
Yep. That's right.
Pepsi's coming back.
I like to see in the future that it's gonna, like, every ad is going to be personalized. So you'll have like the celebrity, like it's Paul Rudd, who still hasn't aged in 2050. And he's like, hey, Dustin, would you like to try a Pepsi? And I'm like, oh, Paul Rudd, you know my name? He's like, yeah, bud, I know your name. Try Pepsi. Have a Pepsi.
Of course I know your name.
Okay,
I know
Paul.
Only your name. I use ChatGPT for several things. One of the main things I use it for is a nutrition log, my macros.
Sure.
And then today I opened it to like tell it I ate a sandwich or whatever. And it was like, we have a voice feature now. I was like, what's this about? And I clicked on it and I was just like, I was in the thread and I clicked the button because I was like, so can I like continue this by voice? And it was like, I picked one of the voices, not a great selection. And it was just like, yeah, you could talk or you could type. And I was like, this is kind of weird, talking to you instead of typing. And it was like, yep. It kept like, it was like talking to a person. It would like talk. And if you're still talking, it would like stop. So he was like, yep. Yeah, it is kind of weird. And I was like, don't laugh.
No,
what are you doing? You know, like,
can't laugh.
I didn't say anything funny. It was just weird. And so like I ended it.
Explain to me why that was humorous.
Right. Like, what are you laughing for?
How did that tickle your fancy?
But like, I looked at the thread later, like after I was done.
What's so
I realized,
funny? I'm a clown to you?
Yeah. I was looking down at it and I was like, it logged all of our back and forth as text.
Wow.
So it could be referenced later.
Sure. By the deposition.
Yeah. Here's what I said. Yeah, as I can share a continue thread. Yep, that's exactly right. Voice or typing, whatever works for you. And I said, this is weird. And it's like, what's weird about it? And I was like, I mean, I guess it's no different than typing to an LLM as opposed to talking to one. So yeah, it makes, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so weirded out, but it is new. I totally understand. Yeah, new things kind of feel weird at first. That makes sense. We can just ease into it. No pressure at all. And I said, yeah. And so then he goes, what would feel right? Well, I'm going to go do something else. And he's like, okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And so It was just
whatever.
He's
like, would this make you feel more comfortable? And it's just your voice back to you. He just starts speaking in your voice. Now you can't tell the difference between your thoughts and the machine.
I was like doing dishes and I'm like talking to it and I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like it was,
there's your Black Mirror episode, dude. You're like laying in bed and you're hearing your thoughts, but your thoughts are actually your computer talking to you.
Oh my God, dude.
And it gave you like a list of voices you could pick from, or could you be like, hey, give me your best Barack Obama impression?
Like, okay, how do I change the voice on you?
Yep. Open the voice picker in your app, choose a different voice, and that's it. If you
ask him to do a Michael Caine impression,
and I can recommend a good match.
Christopher Walken.
I don't know where that feature is. Can you do a Christopher Walken impression?
I can't do a Christopher Walken impression, but if you're up for it, I can help you find where to switch voices in the app.
That wasn't good at all. Can you do Michael Caine?
I can't do impressions of real people, but if you tell me the vibe you're after, like dry, dramatic, or warm, I can roll with that energy.
He sounds like this, and he talks like this, and it's very, very quiet.
Sure, I can give you that kind of old English storyteller cadence without imitating anyone specific.
Sure.
Low and steady, measured, and then just a touch more flair when the moment calls for it. How's that?
That was pretty bad, but I appreciate the effort.
Totally fair. I'll stick to clear and helpful. What do you want to tackle next?
I'm going to go. You know what I mean? But like, I keep thinking there's this account that keeps getting thrown into my algorithm. And it's this guy. I think I've sent it to you. It's this guy who like, he's a human, but like he talks like ChatGPT does. Yeah. And he's always just guzzling water between responses.
Yes.
And so today, I didn't send this to you guys, but today the guy with the camera like runs in. He's like, oh my God. And so the dude's in a chair and he's drinking from like an Abita jug, like a giant water cooler.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my God, dude, I just ran into your car. I'm so sorry. And he goes, that's totally fine. Classic mixture of dangerous, but still kind of safe. If you want, we can call our insurance, or, it was just like, it was just that little. Yes. So when I started this, I was like, what I don't want is that exact creepy, right. Yeah. Classic. Just a night out with the boys. Perfectly magical. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
ask him to be like a frat bro.
Okay.
Classic.
Can you talk like a frat bro and tell me how many calories I ate today?
Let me run the numbers. Hang on. Okay. Dude, you're actually doing pretty solid, right? Like, quick tally, roughly 1,700 calories today. Protein's looking strong, like 135 to 145 grams. Hydration, dude, solid too, like 124 ounces on track. Bid win day and total gains behavior, my dude. Only thing I push is some veggies and fiber tomorrow, but overall, dude, you're looking good.
Can you say it like you're my mother scolding me? This is not a sexual thing.
Hey, look, you did good today, okay? But I swear, if you keep skipping vegetables and relying on cheese and chicken, you're going to hear about it. Hydration? Fine. Protein? Fine. But balance, young man. Eat your plants, get your fiber, and don't make me say it again.
Thank you. Bye.
Young man.
If you keep skipping vegetables around on cheese and chicken, you're going to hear about it.
You're going to hear about it. Whose mother was that?
They're all too young.
Yeah.
I wanted like an old person.
Sure.
So that I could forget I was talking to a machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like, hi, do you want me to do your macros? It's just like, it's too like.
Yeah, it's too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, too fakey.
Too fakey. And that guy was that guy. Fuck. That
guy
is the most like, that sounds the most normal to me.
Yeah.
So
sounds like a Jerry.
I don't want to I could, but like, I didn't want to necessarily like just tell like, hey, like, I've told it before, like, hey, stop kissing my ass so much. Like, but then it still keeps that tone where it's like, I'm going to push back here a little bit. Like you're at the office, you know?
Yeah,
like
right.
Like you're at work.
Yes.
Gonna push back, slight criticism, no
Yep.
big.
Right.
You know, kind of like that frat thing you just
Compliment
did. Like,
sandwich. Yeah.
dude. Or it'll repeat something edgy I say. I'm like, it's kind of fucked up that I can eat this, that I can't eat dates. And it's like, yeah, it's really fucked up, man. And I'm like, you don't have to mirror my speech. Like,
yeah.
what do you-
Right.
Golly.
Weird.
Fucking pick me over here.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That's it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.